Hello students, today we will discuss about trachea. Trachea is the important organ of the respiratory system. It is also known as the windpipe because it transports air from the larynx to the lungs. It is a membranocartilaginous tube which extend from downwards as a continuation of the larynx. The wall of the trachea is formed by the cartilage, and these cartilage connected with each other by the strong fibroelastic membrane. So it is a membranocartilaginous tube. Extension of the trachea. Trachea is extended from the larynx to the this one is the larynx cartilage. Thyroid cartilage and cricoid cartilage are the cartilages of the larynx. Trachea extend from the lower body of the cricoid cartilage up to the sternal angle. The level of vertebral level of the sternal angle is the T4 vertebra, and the level of the cricoid cartilage is the C6 vertebra, 6 cervical vertebra. So larynx trachea extend from the cricoid cartilage to the sternal angle in the thorax, or we can say it extend from the C6 to T4 vertebra. The extension of the trachea vary as it in the cadaver it extend from the C6 to the T4, and in the living individual in standing position trachea extend from the C6 to T6 vertebra, and in newborn it extends from the C6 to T3 in newborn. The upper half of the trachea lies in the neck, and the lower half of the trachea lies in the thorax. So trachea has two part, upper part cervical part, and lower part is the thoracic part. Now the measurements of the trachea. The length of the trachea is 10 to 11 centimeter, and external diameter or breadth of the trachea is in adult it is 2 centimeter, and in adult female it is 1.5 centimeter long. So trachea is 10 to 11 centimeter long tube. The internal diameter of the trachea is 12 mm in adult, but in newborn it is 3 mm, which persists up to the third year of the life. Thereafter, the lumen of the trachea increase by 1 mm each year up to 12 year, after which it remains constant. So, in newborn, the internal diameter of the trachea is 3 mm, and up to the 12 year it increase by 1 mm each year, and after which it become constant. This knowledge is important in selecting size of tube during intratracheal intubation in the child. Now, course of the trachea. In this diagram, trachea extend from the cricoid cartilage. This one is the cricoid cartilage up to the sternal angle. It runs downwards in the median plane, first in the neck, then in the superior mediastinum of the thorax, and at the level of the sternal angle, or we can say at the ending point, it shifts slightly to the right side due to the pressure of the arch of aorta. So mainly trachea lies in the median plane. Its upper part lies in the cervical region, and its lower part lies in the superior mediastinum, and at the sternal angle, where it divides into two parts, two bronchi, it shifts slightly right side due to the pressure of the aorta. So this one is the course of the trachea. Now relation of the trachea. We have discussed previous that trachea has two parts, cervical part and thoracic part. So in the cervical region, or we in the neck region, the relation of the trachea, anterior relation is the skin, superficial fascia and deep cervical fascia. Then sternothyroid and sternohyoid muscle and isthmus of the thyroid gland. These are the anterior relation of the cervical part of the trachea. Skin, superficial fascia, deep fascia, sternohyoid which extend from the sternum to hyoid bone, and sternothyroid which extend from the sternum to thyroid cartilage, and isthmus of the thyroid gland. And posterior relation in the neck is the trachea posteriorly related to the esophagus. Here we can say this one is the esophagus and vertebral column. So posterior relation is the esophagus and vertebral column. On each side you can say here on each side trachea is related to the thyroid lobe of the thyroid gland. These are the lateral lobe of the thyroid gland, and this one is the isthmus of the thyroid gland. So isthmus is related to anteriorly, and lobe of the thyroid gland related to the trachea laterally. And below the thyroid gland common carotid artery, these are the common carotid artery and inferior thyroid vein are related to on each side. Now relation in the trachea of the trachea in the thorax. Thorax, in the thorax trachea is related to the manubrium and muscles which originate from the manubrium. These are the sternohyoid muscle and sternothyroid muscles, and it is also related to the arch of aorta, pulmonary trunk. This one is the pulmonary trunk, arch of aorta, common carotid artery, and brachiocephalic artery, and pulmonary trunk. So, and at the bifurcation trachea is related to the arch of aorta and deep cardiac plexus. Here is the deep cardiac plexus between the trachea and the aorta. So anteriorly at the bifurcation trachea is related to the deep cardiac plexus and arch of aorta, and behind same esophagus and vertebral column. Trachea posterior is related to the vertebral column and esophagus. On the left side, in the thorax, trachea is related to the right lung and pleura, right vagus nerve, and azygous vein. This one is the arch of the azygous vein, which arch over the root of the right lung. So trachea right side, on the right side it is related to the right lung, pleura, right vagus nerve, and arch of the azygous vein. Here also this one is the root of the lung and this one is the azygous vein. So trachea on the right side related to the right vagus nerve, right azygous vein, and right lung and pleura. On the left side trachea is related to the arch of aorta, common carotid artery. This one is the common carotid artery, and left subclavian artery, and left lung and pleura. Now structure of the trachea. Trachea is consist of cartilage. These cartilage are shaped, and it is the incomplete cartilage and hyaline in nature. Posteriorly the cartilage is completed by the, or we can say the posterior end of the C-shaped cartilage is related to the trachealis muscle. Here this one is the trachealis muscle. So this one is the C-shaped cartilage. So trachea has 16 to 20 C-shaped cartilage which are hyaline in nature, and posterior margin of the C-shape or C completed by the or bridged by the smooth muscle which is trachealis muscle. This one is the trachealis muscle which is involuntary muscle. Posteriorly cartilage are absent because it allow the distension of the esophagus. Here also this one is the blue color is the cartilage, hyaline cartilage, and posteriorly it is completed by the, or it is two margin of the cartilage is attached by the trachealis muscle. Now why that cartilaginous rings are absent posteriorly? Because to allow the expansion of esophagus during deglutition. Cartilage we have discussed earlier, it is C-shape, deficient behind, and it is hyaline in nature. Number of the cartilage are the 16 to 20. First cartilage or first ring is the broadest ring, and the last ring, this one is the last ring. Last ring presents a triangular projection. Here you can say downward projection, triangular projection, which is known as the carina. Carina is the most sensitive area of the trachea, and it is associated with the cuff reflex. So जो lower cartilage or lowest cartilage is the carina, which is most sensitive area and associated with the cuff reflex. Carina is often considered as last line of defense and result in expulsion of the aspirated foreign body in coughing. The mucous membrane of the trachea is ciliated pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium, the cells resting on the basement membrane, and it has numerous goblet cells. Goblet cells secrete mucus. These mucus of the goblet cell and trapped particles, foreign particles, and pushed away by the ciliary beads towards the upper part of the trachea and larynx. So the mucous membrane of the trachea helps in a defense mechanism of respiratory by acting as mucociliary barrier. Now arterial supply of the trachea. Here this is the arch of the aorta. This one is the common carotid artery, and this one is the subclavian artery on the both side. The inferior thyroid artery, which is branch of the subclavian artery, supply the trachea in the upper part, and in the lower part bronchial artery it supply the trachea. And inferior thyroid vein, the venous drainage of the trachea is the inferior thyroid vein. And lymphatic drainage of the trachea, the lymphatic of the trachea drain into the which are present in front of the trachea, and paratracheal lymph node present on the both side of the trachea. Now supply of the trachea. Trachea is supplied by the parasympathetic nerve. Parasympathetic nerve derived from the both vagus and recurrent laryngeal nerve. Recurrent laryngeal nerve also branch of the vagus nerve. These nerves are motor to tracheal muscles, trachealis muscle, which are present posteriorly, and secretomotor to the glands which are present in the trachea, serous and mucous gland, and sensory to the mucous membrane. So parasympathetic nerves are motor to trachealis muscle, secretomotor to glands, and sensory to the mucous membrane. And sympathetic nerve of the trachea derived from the 4th to 5th thoracic segment of the spinal cord. Now development of the trachea. Trachea is developed from the laryngotracheal tube. This one is the laryngotracheal tube, which grow as a diverticulum from the ventral wall of the foregut. This one the foregut, and it arises from the laryngotracheal tube, arise from the ventral wall of the foregut at the junction of the pharynx and esophagus. So trachea developed from the laryngotracheal tube, which derived from the foregut. Now clinical anatomy. First one is the tracheostomy. Tracheostomy is a surgical procedure which allow air to enter directly into trachea. It is done in case of blockage of air pathway in nose or pharynx. In tracheostomy, 3 centimeter vertical or horizontal skin incision is made midway between the sternal notch and thyroid cartilage mainly or approximately at the level of second tracheal ring. Trachea is also palpated in suprasternal notch. Normally, trachea is lie in median position. Shift of the trachea to any side indicate a mediastinal shift. Trachea may get compressed by pathological enlargement of thyroid, thymus and lymph nodes and aortic arch. If there is a thyroid enlargement, thymus enlargement and lymph node enlargement, trachea may be compressed. And if trachea is compressed, it causes dyspnea and irritative cough and often a husky voice. Now, histology of the trachea. Histology की trachea consists of mucosa, submucosa and adventitia. Mucosa is the innermost layer which is consists of epithelium and lamina propria. Epithelium of the trachea is the pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium and it contains the goblet cell. Goblet cell produce the mucus. Submucosa is the loose connective tissue and submucosa contain cartilage and smooth muscle. The cartilage are C-shaped and hyaline nature and adventitia is the connective tissue. So, this one is the trachea. Innermost lining of the trachea is the pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium, then lamina propria and submucosa. In the submucosa is the tracheal cartilage and the outer layer is the fibrous tissue layer which is the adventitia. Here it is also the slide of the trachea. This one is the pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium and this one the mucus and serous glands, tracheal cartilage. This one is the tracheal cartilage. Thank you so much.